Hello everyone, this one is the second one about cancer and China. What I'm trying to do is using astrology science to explain China, why we are so ridiculous and mysterious. This one is called Why Cancer Lies, also explain why so many Chinese people like to lies. But you have to notice and very careful about it because it doesn't mean every cancer lies. If you are very crazy and insane level cancer, you might be the same, but not all of them. And it doesn't mean all Chinese people prefer to lie. But when you see the whole Chinese people as a whole group, you can see the personality, you can see the pattern all through the history. And that is what I'm trying to figure out. You know the famous trolley problem, you have to kill one to save another. You have to make decision, right? But when a cancer person facing this kind of problem, they prefer to don't make any decision because they want to be perfect. They don't want to be judged. So because of that, they always delay until the problem is too big to face. So eventually it becomes total loss because it's too late to do anything. And that is what happened about Evergrande group, also called Hengda, last year, because everybody know there was some problem a couple years ago. Before the COVID-19 breakout, we kind of realized that this industry couldn't keep going on and on, but the government, everybody just ignored it, keep buying houses until last year it exploded. If you know China good enough, or maybe you have some Chinese friend or client, at some point you will realize that they always raising up two contradictory ideas, like can you make the logo bigger meanwhile smaller, and also like they just saying I hate American very much, I hate this country, I hate the president, anything. And also they love Captain America, they love Marvel movies, they want to apply the visa to travel to America. And this kind of thing could be justified because the same mindset. If you're Chinese and you're listening to this and also think that is not a problem to me, maybe that is the biggest problem. Why China lies is just like why cancer lies, because we want to be flawless, we want to be perfect. So anything bad should be hide, should be keep it in the closet. But in the West, bad news come after another. That is your normal, right? Because we are facing a problem, we want to deal with it. So that is how COVID-19 breaks out. We have the problem, so hide it first. Until it couldn't hide anymore, it exploded. So everybody take the consequence. Even during the lockdown, the social media still spinning, saying things like we are in a very good condition, and a lot of people die in America, UK, and other places in the world. So we are doing the good thing. It means nothing bad could happen in China openly. There are famous saying is called the road to hell is paved with good intentions. That is exactly what happened in China. The intention to be good also caused the biggest harm and danger. Another thing is, astrology speaking, when we thinking about how to solve a problem, we will look at Mercury. But unfortunately, anything about Mercury in China is in bad situation. So the first thing is logic, like even though you're going to Mars, you need to use logic, right? But China has our own logic. So it kind of hate people so focused on logic. Because if you're too sensible, you are too logical, if you prove that your boss, your supervisor is ridiculous, so they will hate you. So eventually we become like 2 + 2 = 5 situation. And then the news, foreign news is mostly blocked. Even those translate into Chinese inside our country is very likely mistranslated. And then news inside China could only be good news. No bad news could leak out. And then merchant, the word relate to Mercury, about businessman, and also about free market. It's also bad because everything has to be under control. So business is about people do free choices, so it's not allowed. And then statistics, the numbers, how many people was die, how many people was born, how many people get sick, or how is the GDP, those numbers most likely is fake. And then the education is not always about brainwashing, but it's always about feeding those children standard answers, so they make their brain running like a machine. And then until recent years, English, other foreign language, is not good because it feels like you're gonna connect with those foreign people. It's not good. Mercury is ruling Gemini, right? So every year, the month of Gemini is become much more sensitive than the usual for some reason. And so if you notice that during this month, a lot of things is banned, the little bit of freedom is banned. You can't say every Chinese is that ridiculous. A lot of people is sensible, but their voice is mute or ignored. So most likely, if a person is very logical and sensible living in China, also they were kind of miserable because you are trying so hard to making sense, but it feels like everything just doesn't work. The system is trying to get rid of those intelligent people to fixing the problem. They prefer to choose those emotional and obedient people to get more chances. As we all know, Mercury is a messenger. They try to raise a problem, then fix it, right? But because Gemini and Cancer is next to each other, in the Cancer point of view, it feels like you're trying to against me. If you're saying too many logical things to a Chinese people, they always feel like you are trying to push me, you're gonna hurt me. But that does not make sense. And according to my observation, the modern world is all about Mercury to becoming international. And that is why China is so hard to become modernized in the last century, because the mindset is completely different. And the educational level is so disappointing in the last century. Why this situation is this bad? I think it's because the people who run this country is born in the last century and they get education in the last century, so they not quite understand what's going on in the outside world. But one day when those people die out and make sense, people will charge this place, I think there will be the hope. So that is all for today. Thank you for watching. See you next time.